What was your posture like before we started talking and before you started doing my programs? How was it before? And then how is your posture now?
So yeah, I've had a posture issue probably since I was in high school. So for the last 15 to 20 years, and I've never really known how to correct it. It's always something that's bothered me. I've always been self-conscious about it. So I've been using your program with the posture fix. And with that program, I've been able to really correct my posture. It's really brought my chest up. It's brought my shoulders back more. It's been really beneficial. I actually get a lot of compliments about how my posture has changed over the last few months. My shoulders, my hips, I'm using those to get flexibility for deep squats and also be able to get the right form in deadlifting. And then my posture, mainly because I sit behind a desk all day and I've had a horrible posture since I was in high school. And I want to be able to sit straight upwards. I want to be able to have, as I get older, I want to be able to have that posture, have that not be the hunched over man, you know what I mean? I want to be able to have a straight back and be able to stand up straight, you know?
What was your posture like before we started talking and before you started doing my programs? How was it before? And then how is your posture now?
So yeah, I've had a posture issue probably since I was in high school. So for the last 15 to 20 years, and I've never really known how to correct it. It's always something that's bothered me. I've always been self-conscious about it. So I've been using your program with the posture fix. And with that program, I've been able to really correct my posture. It's really brought my chest up. It's brought my shoulders back more. It's been really beneficial. I actually get a lot of compliments about how my posture has changed over the last few months.
Nice. I actually gave you one of those compliments because you sent me a really cool picture of you and your wife on a beach. And you were like, dude, my posture is improving so much. And my wife, Daniela, saw it, who you know, and she was like, oh my God, I love that picture. And you can really tell, like, I've known you for practically your whole life. And I remember when your posture was not so good because you and I used to play a lot of video games and we had that, like, slumped guy, computer nerd neck kind of posture. But I can tell you've made a lot of progress. So kudos to you on that. I also know that you are into weightlifting, and I'm curious how you have noticed that improvements in posture affecting your lifting.
I've noticed it mainly in my squatting, to be honest with you. So before, I had a lot of rounded back issues when I was squatting. The weight was more resting on my neck than it was on my back. So as my back has moved back and straightened up, I've been able to get under the weight more, and the bar's been more vertical, which has increased my weight pretty dramatically.
Nice. Do you do any overhead pressing or pull-ups or anything like that?
Both, yes.
Yeah. Do you notice, do you ever do some posture exercises before or after you're doing some overhead press or some pull-ups and you feel more shoulder range of motion? Because that's what I notice when I work on my posture.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of the rotational cuffs, like when you bring like that, and I've noticed my range of motion improve dramatically.
You had some back problems, I think, at one point in time. What have you been doing from my programs that has helped you with any kind of back problems or inflexibility related to those back problems?
I've been working on my hips a lot with those. So getting down almost into a lunge form and then trying to stand up straight, or putting my leg against a wall where my knee is bent, and using that to increase my range of motion, my hips. It's transferred over to deadlifting a little bit, where I'm able to get down a little bit to do more of a pivot at the hips rather than going from a squat into a deadlift on the deadlifts.
Were you having any other pains in your body, neck, shoulders, back, hips?
I had a shoulder. So like in my right shoulder, especially after doing more of a after benching, I feel it, or after overhead pressing, or after trap raises, or I feel it there. And I've been using your shoulder program and the athlete's back in order to kind of get that range of motion in my shoulders better and my AC joint in order to get rid of pain.
Nice. Which exercises from those programs most help you kind of get rid of that pain and get more range of motion? Do you do the pec stretches or something for your upper back, the thoracic spine, or some kind of lat stretches?
The doorway pec stretches, where you push through your elbow, and that has really brought back my posture and been able to help there. Also, that you put your arm on the bar and kind of like pull it. Those have helped to increase my range of motion in my shoulders.
Nice. I seem to also recall that you run, and did you ever have knee pain while running? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, so I had a lot of knee pain when I was running. I started running probably 3 or 4 times. So then after about 2 months, I'd have to stop running for a month or two due to the knee pain. And what we did was we used your program, the lower body program, in order to kind of increase my flexibility. And with that, actually, all my knee pain has gone away. So now I'm able to run 3 miles several times a week with no pain.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, I think a lot of people can probably relate to your story because a lot of people our age are, young, active guys. We played sports in the past, but maybe there was a long period where we weren't quite as active. And then when we try to take things up again, all these new pains kind of crop up, like knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. And then the question comes, well, what the heck do I do about that? Do I get surgery? Do I run to the physical therapist and hope that they fix me? What I find cool about what you're doing is you're learning how to fix it on your own. And sure, there's still plenty to learn. There's, you can get more flexible, you can improve your technique, but you're already starting the journey. I bet if I asked you a year ago, if you had knee pain or back pain or shoulder pain, would you instantly know at least a handful of exercises that you could use to help those things? And you probably would have said, not really. But, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming that that's kind of how it was for you. Tell me if that's the case or not.
Yeah, not a chance. I had no idea what to do or what my body was needing. I was going through the midlife crisis where, hey, I played sports all the time when I was in, college and high school. And now I think my mental stage is still back in that, but my body isn't where it used to be. So retraining my body to meet the demands that my mind thinks I can has definitely been a challenge, but it's been actually a fun one where if you actually see improvements weekly or monthly, and it's been beneficial in a lot of ways.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of think of mobility work as it can be as exciting as things that us guys traditionally like a little bit more, which is weightlifting. Because in weightlifting, it's like every time you put more weight on the bar, there's this sense of like accomplishment, the sense of like, hell yeah, like I'm getting stronger. But you can't have that too with mobility work. It's like, oh, hell yeah, like, look at my posture in this picture. Like I used to look, like you said, like a caveman, and now I look kind of like proud and normal, dare I say, like Superman. I don't know. But it can have that sense of gratification when you progress in your mobility and your posture, not only just getting a faster mile time or squatting more or bench pressing more. So I'm glad that you're experiencing some of those benefits. I think maybe one last question for you. If you had any recommendation either for your younger self or for a guy or a gal who's about your age, about in your situation where you were maybe a year ago, who's got some knee pain or some hip pain or some back pain when they deadlift or some shoulder pain when they bench press, what would you recommend that they do starting now?
I actually have a couple pieces of advice. The first one is exercise for what really matters, your health, right? Exercise because you want to keep your body healthy, your mind healthy, and to relieve stress. Don't exercise just to get big or just to get strength or, concentrate on your form. Number 2 is range of motion matters just as much as strength, right? If you don't have that range of motion, you don't have that flexibility, you're never going to have a real athlete's body. You may have a power lifter body, but you're not going to have the real athlete's body, in my opinion.
That's great. That's brilliant. Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I appreciate you. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you.